What is up, people? So in this video I want to go through the process I went of growing my hair for about 3 years, to then dreading my hair, to raising money for charity, to then shaving it all off, and then, as you can see, getting the head tattooed. So let's just jump straight into the video. Let's go. So roughly about 3 years ago, I was getting bored of just constantly styling my hair all the time, and being a barber myself, I just, decided there's not really much else really to do. Like, you go through all these different haircuts and stuff, so just decided, sod it, like, let's just grow it, see how long I can get it. It started off in the beginning as a bit of a bet with some friends. That was like kind of lasted a year, and then next thing 2 years, and still hadn't cut my hair, so then that soon went out the window. Towards the end of the second year, my hair started getting to like a decent length, so where I didn't really need to do anything with it. I could just tie it up, like, bun at the back, in the middle, or even just kind of put it into like a plait or something, which made my life so much easier at that point, because you don't understand, unless you have grown your hair, getting past that awkward stage in the middle is, the temptation to just sack it all off and go back down to nothing is real. Like, days you would wake up and just be like, what am I even doing? Why am I trying to do this? Like, it's not worth it. I look like a mess. Let's just chop it off. But luckily it didn't, and here we are. So now we're into like the third year. Like, by this point I was actually really vibing the long hair. Like, I had it coloured now, it was looking great. And a friend of mine recommended dreading it and turning it into dreadlocks, seeing as my hair was probably at this point to, I'd say, at least like my stomach. So they said, yeah, like, you should dreadlock it, it looked quite smart. And I'd seen a few like friends with it, and I was like, yeah, I've always wanted to do it, just I've never really liked the idea of like having like clip-ons and stuff. I wanted it to be matted into like my own hair with like an extension on. So like, yeah, looked into doing that, and at that time I was living in a camper van that I converted myself, so I just thought, let's just go full hippie on this one, and that's just how it ended up going. The dreads were pretty cool to begin with, and like, it takes a while to adjust to having them. Like, they're heavy, like, you don't realise the weight that you're carrying around on these, and especially when they're wet, they're even worse. And they were great. Like, it was saving me, like, you don't really have to wash them as often, so like living in the van, it was perfect. And at that time with COVID and that just like coming out,
coming soon to a theater near you.
Very skeptical, especially gyms, like allowing people to use these facilities, so I was kind of limited living in the van of how to wash myself other than just outside, which was freezing at this point. And actually, on the subject of the gym, that was one of my kind of turning points of started getting into training again, and going to the gym with dreads was a nightmare. Like, trying to tie them up out the way and showering every time I went to the gym and not getting them wet, or if I did wash them, just the whole process of drying them, it was just an absolute ball ache. So that for me was the kind of turning point of me to, feel like I wanted to do something different with them. So at this point I was kind of contemplating going through shaving the sides and having the top section done, and at this point I ended up getting the side of my face tattooed, so I had to shave quite a large section, which came to more, before the tattoo was on there, you're kind of like looking in the mirror and you're thinking, oh, like, how much do I need to take off?
Nice.
So we ended up taking off a fair section around the side, which I then wanted to match on this side, because I felt if it didn't really match up, then it would look weird. Like, so did that, had the tattoo done, and then was just like, oh, that's just giving me the itch now. I need to get the rest of my face tattooed, and my head, shall I say. Like, it just gave me that bug that you get from tattoos. So then after all of this, of contemplating whether to get rid of the dreads, and finally just, I said to myself, if I ever was going to get rid of my long hair, I would just shave it bald, just because why not. So at this point, I had a few friends that had done charity things and, like, donated their hair to the Princess Trust. So I looked into doing something similar, but obviously with the dreads, that wasn't, you can't donate them because of the way they are. So I kind of just thought, well, I'm not going to give up there. So I ended up setting up a GoFundMe and raising money for Men's Mental Health organisation in Brighton. When I moved back up to Brighton after lockdown and was living in the van, like there's down days. So they've really helped me a lot in the beginning, just having someone to talk to that isn't your friend, you know, who can give you a bit more advice professionally without really having to know you and, you know, trying to sympathize and stuff. So that really helped, and I thought, perfect, they helped me, so I helped back by, you know, shaving it for them. So ended up doing that, and yeah, like I said, raised about £600, and yeah, that was it. Made a little video, so I'll link the video now, so enjoy.
Nutty on the buttons.
Me and my guys too groovy, and we still get grungy. Dreadlocks, little Uzi. Nothing but G's round here, so Gucci. Them man, they're gazy, don't live no movies. But me and my guys too groovy, and we still get grungy. Dreadlocks, little Uzi. Nothing but G's round here, so Gucci. Them man, they're gazy, don't live no movies. I ride round with a cutie. I'm so dirty south, she wipe me down, little boosie. Put her to my hood to a movie, been round killers since juvie. Why you think they got my friends on the wing stressed out smoking Lucy's? Magic in my hand, Houdini. Wish I was a little bit taller, I wish I had a genie. I wish I didn't carry this thing, wish I could walk around easy. I wish you would keep that same energy online when you see me. Chop it down, you gotta keep the rounds on repeat. And we leave them on the ground, that's a receipt. I smoke a lot of weed, I could've been down with the Bee Gees. Stood them uptown with some down south G's, and we still kick doors off the Heezy. Me and my guys too groovy, and we still get grungy. Dreadlocks, little Uzi.
So that brings us to now. The design we come up with, a good friend of mine, Adam Downing, he's the one that done the side of my face as well. I'll link him somewhere in here so you can see his work. Great guy, like really nice work. He's really the only guy I go to now in Brighton. He come up with the idea of the kind of the snakes and everything. Originally we were kind of piecing off of an idea that I seen of having a mask split with something in the middle, but then obviously given the shape it just wouldn't look, the placement wouldn't be right. So yeah, we kind of went a bit back and forth, and obviously I had enough time during that lockdown from when I was first supposed to get it booked in, so obviously having like a month of obviously lockdown, so we were kind of figuring out some ideas so that when we come back we could just jump straight into it. And yeah, we ended up settling on the Henya mask. It's a great design, the Henya, like in having the snakes wrap round, just spread it out a little bit wider so it fits really nice around the head. Pain wise, nowhere near as bad as I expected. I genuinely thought it was going to be horrible. Like, I've heard stories of like the backs of your head being agony, the sides being fine, so I was very skeptical. Side of my face, almost no pain, other than a little bit in the ear. It was shockingly easy, like, so that kind of threw me off. As soon as we started, it was fine. Like, there was a few bits that I was like, you know, tolerable. As it come onto my forehead, a little bit, like, it changes. Like, if you've got tattoos on your body, you'll know that certain areas will just have a tolerable pain, then a centimetre over, it could change. Like, and that to me was the same as the head. Like, as soon as it come out of my hairline, which at the time, having a bald head, can't really see where your hairline is, so I was kind of like, yeah, like, just, you know, we'll go with it. And we had put it on about 4 times to make sure it looked symmetrical, it looked right. So at this point my head was like purple, so I was just there like, yeah, I think my hairline's about here, so yeah, that'll be fine, don't worry about it. And obviously now my hair's grown a bit, you can see it does encroach into my hairline, which is fine because it hides the receding, so, you know, win-win. But other than that, I was proper stoked with it, really happy with how it came out. It took probably about 5 to 6 hours to begin with, including like obviously putting the stencil on and that. So yeah, it's a lot quicker than I expected. Unfortunately, haven't yet got around to finishing it. That was supposed to be in January. but obviously Boris is still locking stuff up, so unable to do that. So I'm sure in the future, hopefully very, very soon, I'll be able to go see Adam again, get the rest of it coloured in, and then fill in the back sections and the side, and we'll make a video for that as well. So that brings us to the end, really. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoyed the little montage I added in. If you've got any questions or anything, or any more, you know, videos, content you want me to post about my tattoos, whether it's like, you know, a view of all over and that, just let me know in the comments below. If you could like, share, comment and subscribe, that will really help me a lot, seeing as I'm new to this and, you know, I want to get people seeing it. And yeah, thank you very much, and see you next time. Peace!